You don't like the way things are? So what? Either stop complaining, move to another country, or suck it up and go get involved. I've often been told this, and that all I want to do is complain and tear down what others have worked for and died for. I understand why my perspective is upsetting. When I began to open my eyes, the light was too bright for me too. I was angry. I was sad. I felt sick. But then, something unexpected happened. What looks like complaining to you looks like honesty to me. I'm perched outside the window, looking on in dismay as you, in your birdcage, insist I shouldn't want to be free. If we were on the Titanic slowly sinking into the ocean, and you hadn't seemed to notice, I would try to bring it to your attention. Would you tell me to stop complaining? Would you say, "This is the best ship in the history of the world, so be grateful you're on it"? Or, "It's not perfect, but it's the best ship we have"? My honest approach has led me to see the system for what it is. What happens when you're in a system and you understand its true nature? The people who invented the computer or device you are listening to this on had to understand the principles of electronics first. Once they had achieved a certain understanding of the truth, they were able to create something good using that knowledge, which has now benefited countless others. Do you have that level of understanding, or do you just use the simple input devices that those masters have given you? A keyboard, a mouse, a touchscreen. The political system is the same way. You can master the political system. You can turn its coercive power to your advantage, and many people do. Do you have a mastery of that system? Or do you just use the inputs your masters have given you? Instead, choose not to be a part of it. Instead, master yourself. Which correct ideas consistently lead to dismal results? What foolish actions lead consistently to good ends? A good test of the validity of your set of beliefs is to examine what results those beliefs yield. This is not to say that ends are the justifier of the means, but in truth, correct choices in the long run typically do end well. My ideas about government and life had resulted in a fundamental motivation to make the most of my life and relationships, to be ethical in my behavior, and make learning and growth a lifelong part of my personal culture. When you're watching the presidential debates, are you similarly inspired? Does watching Hillary Clinton speak make you want to be more than you are, start a business, be friendly with your neighbors, and read some Henry David Thoreau? How about when you're doing your taxes? How about when you're 35 and still paying student loans? I just want to have a clear conscience. I want to live daily life without blood on my hands. Telling me I should participate in the government to change it is bizarre. If I were in a dark alley and a group of 10 guys threatened to kill me if I didn't give them my money, would you tell me to join the gang in order to change it? If my kids were sitting in a terrorist training camp 8 hours per day against my will, would you suggest that I join the terrorists, or that I should vote that they release my kids? Philosophy greatly affects outcome. If the government is operating contrary to the values of the people it allegedly represents, then what are we fighting for? Start from a place of virtue in your own life and your own decisions, and let from it flow what will.